Hello friends, again I would like to welcome you in our YouTube channels Dr. CS Chemistry Hub. Today I will teach you about mole concept, that is the syllabus of class 11th, which is very most important for competitive examinations like JEE Advanced, medical and etc. So let us come and understand about mole concept. So friends, as I know, quite commonly we are use different types of unit for counting different types of articles. Different types of articles, if we called about dozen, score or gross. When we call dozen, it what means about dozen? When we call dozen, that means we remember a number. What number? That is 12. If we called a dozen of banana, that means the numbers of banana will be 12. Again, if we called a score, that means we again remember a number. What number? That number will be 20. If we called a score apple, that means numbers of apple is 20. Similarly, when we called gross, number of gross or gross, we called a gross of any other articles, that means we will again remember that a number 144. So friends, similarly we count or use unit for different types of articles for dozen, score or gross. Similarly, chemists used the unit mole. The unit mole for counting atoms, molecules, ions, etc. For counting atoms, molecules and ions, chemists use the unit mole. What is mole? We can say a mole represents 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particles. What particles? 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particles. The number 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particles is also equal to Avogadro's number. Avogadro's number. What Avogadro numbers? Avogadro number, we call these numbers as a Avogadro number. Why? Because in the remembrance or in the honor of Avogadro in 19th century, when in 19th century we honored Avogadro with this number. Which number? 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. We call this number as a Avogadro number. So we can write and we can denote Avogadro number with Na. So Na is equal to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. For example, let us we understand about mole. What a mole? If we called a mole of hydrogen molecules, a mole of hydrogen molecule, it means 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 hydrogen molecules. Amorphous hydrogen मतलब amorphous hydrogen means 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 hydrogen molecules. Again, if we call a mole of sodium ion, a mole of sodium ion means 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 sodium ions. Again, if we call a mole of electron, it means 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 electrons. So, remember, do you know about the exact value of Avogadro number? The exact value of Avogadro number is 6.022137 into 10 to the power 23. The exact value of Avogadro number is 6.022137 into 10 to the power 23. If the Avogadro number or Avogadro number's value is this, then why scientists chosen the Avogadro number as 6.022 into 10 to the power 23? Do you know? Scientists chosen this number as a Avogadro number because this number 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 can be determined or can be calculated easily. So, to simplify this number 6.022137 into 10 to the power 23 as a 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 as Avogadro numbers. That's why scientists or chemists used these numbers as a Avogadro number. So, students, let us know we can define what? Thus, a mole is defined as the amount of substance that contains a particles or entities. What entities? That is atoms, molecules or ions. Contains a particles or entities as there are atoms in exactly 12 gram. Exactly 12 gram of carbon isotopes or 0.012 kg of carbon isotopes. So, C12 was determined by a spectrometer. The value of C12 or carbon isotopes was determined by a spectrometer which is equal to 1.992648 into 10 to the power minus 23 grams. So, the numbers of atoms in 1 mole of carbon is 1 mole of carbon is equal to 12 gram per mole of C12 isotopes followed by the value of C12 which is determined by the spectrometer, that is 1.992648 into 10 to the power minus 23 grams atoms of carbon isotopes. If we calculate this value, we see that the value of C12 will be 6.022137 into 10 to the power 23 atoms per mole, which is the exact value of Avogadro number. So, thus we can say that what a mole is equal to, value of a mole is equal to 6.022137 into 10 to the power 23 entities are atoms, molecules or ions. For simplicity, its value may be given equal to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, which is also considered as Avogadro number, that is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. So I hope you have understand about mole concept. If you like this video, please subscribe our channel or share our channels with your other friends, that they can also watch this video and so on. Thank you.